It is Tuesday, June. No, man. It's July 2nd, 2024, and after an entire month of wanting to say July, I finally get to July, and I say June. What is wrong with me? Probably a lot of things, but that's okay. Work was good today. I'm getting real stuff done. It's small stuff, but it's real stuff. So, uh, it's good though. Um, they started a kind of a mentoring session for me and, well, kind of my whole team, because like most of us are new hires. uh, about how the basics work for the stuff we're working on. So they had the first one of those today. That's good. I got some of this during one of my internships, but it'll definitely be good to hear it all again. I will not pass up the opportunity for that. Uh, I was just thinking about. I gave a very poor answer to one of the questions that he posed, the mentor guy, which was correct, but I had did a very terrible job of like getting that point across. So yeah, that was a little not so great. I usually don't have problems getting people to understand what I say, but that one was entirely my fault, and I was very bad at explaining what my answer to his question was. So yeah, I mean, does it matter? No. Was I thinking about it today? Well, no, not until I was reviewing in my mind what happened at that tutoring session. Should I remember now? I mean, it's probably not necessary. Will this change how I act in the future? Maybe. Maybe I'll be more. I don't know. Things happen. Why am I spending so much time talking about this? I used to have really bad. Well, I don't know. I don't want to minimize anybody else's experiences, but I used to be. I'm not going to call it social anxiety because I know that that's a thing that like people struggle with a lot. That is like a major problem to them living a fulfilled life, and I don't want to say that I ever had problems living a fulfilled life. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's hard to say. I just know that other people have worse problems than me, so I don't want to take away from their problems. But I used to be so nervous about talking to people and that I would mess up in conversation. And I think I've talked about this before. Like, I would try to plan out entire conversations in my head before like starting them, which never went well because nobody ever says what you expect them to say or whatever. Uh, you're not gonna say everything right. It's just a fact of life. I mean, nobody has a 100% success rate on anything. Um, I mean, well, anything you do a worthwhile amount of times, you're gonna fail at least once. That's just how it goes. And it's okay if you fail at social situations. The weird thing is that uh, by thinking too far ahead and planning out like everything that I was going to say before I start saying anything. That led to more problems because, you know, uh, there was a couple times where I'd start in on like the second sentence of what I was thinking instead of the first one, and then people were like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "Oh, well, I made this logical leap that, well, I, nobody else did." And to be fair, like the situation today was that, except I wasn't planning out everything, so it still happens. But there were I don't know. I made more social missteps when I was thinking too much about it, and maybe it was the fact that I was thinking too much about it that I was paying too close attention to what I was doing, that I interpreted more things as mistakes, and now when I'm not scrutinizing everything so closely, it just kind of flies under the radar. That could be, or it could just be that I was so stressed about it that I will, you know, or it could just be that that was necessary for me in that time of my life, and that kind of gave me, you know, I ended up getting enough practice that I didn't need to do that anymore. Oddly enough, I think doing YouTube videos kind of helped me out with that. Just being able to talk to myself helped me be able to talk to other people. Seems kind of weird, but I think it's also partially true. But so yeah, back in those days, I probably would be thinking about that all the rest of the day and all night and for years to come, maybe, I don't know. And now I'm just immortalizing it in my video journal. But no, I don't worry about those type of things really anymore. I mean, who cares? I got bigger things to worry about than, I don't know. Well, part of that is, you know, when you're making YouTube videos and stuff and you're trying to be entertaining, you have to give up some of your ego. You have to, well, you can either put it one of two ways. You have to lower your dignity, or you have to get rid of some of your ego. I don't know which one is more accurate, but one of them is true. If you're all uptight about everything, it doesn't make for super entertaining stuff. So maybe that's the way that doing YouTube videos help me in social situations, that I don't have to take myself so seriously anymore. I don't know. It's not a bad thing to learn. I take things seriously. I just don't take myself seriously. How about that? That's probably the best of both worlds. I don't know. There's a difference between taking things seriously and taking yourself seriously. If you can show that you care about things that are important to people, but also show that you're not gonna like bite their head off if they say something insulting to you. Well, I don't know. That's not exactly what I mean. It's never a bad, well, okay, I shouldn't say never. I'm just coming up with all sorts of caveats for all sorts of things. It rarely hurts to make yourself the butt of your jokes instead of somebody else or something else. And if all you care about is how you come off to other people, then joking about yourself or telling an embarrassing story about yourself or whatever can be like the last thing on your mind, but you know, it's kind of one of the most important things, because then it kind of eases everybody's tension and you don't have to be as uptight about things. I mean, there's still some situations where it's not so great. Professional settings, well, depending on the professional setting. but for the most part, no, I don't know why I have hiccups now, but anyway, I don't really know what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't know. I went grocery shopping after work. I don't know what that noise was. This is weird. This is a weird video journal. I don't know what's going on. So, yeah. I guess that's it.